How to identify and remove a curse? Want to know how? A possessed child? Want to spend your life witnessing diabolical forces tormenting them and suffering yourself, all the while? Dramas, pains, wickedness, maybe even self-harm? Many no longer believe in the ominous presence of evil or the seeds it sows in hearts and minds. Some believe the devil doesn't exist. But why then is he so busy? Why is he convinced he'll succeed too much? Many don't know God anymore. Too many are unaware of what the scriptures say, what the Bible conveys, and of salvation. Hence, it's easy for him to persuade them into what he wants, like taking candy from a baby. How does the devil get close to us? I met a mother in a town in the United States whose child was influenced by satanic games and rock music, leading to possession. Innocent-looking online games can create psychological and then spiritual addiction. The web and bookstores are full of such testimonies. Alongside music and games, participation in esoteric rituals or Eastern disciplines that claim to unleash energies is returning. So, return to faith, return to the Lord, return to prayer to gain the strength to always stand by God's side and hold on to Him closely. Don't forget your children. The most reluctant believer in God's existence might just be Satan's favorite. Pity those who blaspheme in your home. Oppose them with all your might, using any means. Parents are responsible for their children in God's eyes, and the Bible clearly explains a parent's authority over their children. So, you can't let your children freely choose evil or side with the devil. In a small town in the United States where a satanic rock concert was planned a few years ago, parents and priests united, determined to fight evil with prayers and strong blessings. They won their battle. When the singer arrived at the venue, he felt unable to enter the arena and left all his fans behind. Even participating in esoteric groups, magicians, tarot readers, occult practitioners, consulting tarot cards, horoscopes, and astrology, all these are pathways to evil. We've observed earlier that one of the ways through which the devil acts is through curses, and we've clarified that not only do those who receive curses face serious dangers, provided they are not protected by God's grace, which is rare, but also those who cast curses. It's a form of black magic that manifests through rituals and ceremonies with the intention to harm people. It's also known as a spell because it involves using specially prepared objects. The material used can vary and serves as the medium through which the devil exercises his power. Once the cursed material is prepared, it is delivered to the victim primarily in two ways, either by mixing it with food or drink so that the victim consumes it, or by placing objects, like hair or intertwined strands, or other materials of various kinds, under their pillow or in their vicinity. The purpose of a curse is to cause harm to the target, whether it's deep-seated hatred, separation from loved ones, depression, illness, financial ruin, or even demonic possession. When dealing with a curse, if the cursed material is found, it should be sprinkled with holy water and then burned outdoors, with the ashes scattered in flowing water. If it's a cursed pillow, it should be burned after being sprinkled with holy water. If the cursed object is too precious to destroy, it can be sprinkled with blessed water without destroying it. A liberation or self-liberation prayer has the power to dissolve many curses or at least weaken their effects. However, in more severe cases, you must seek a true exorcism performed by a priest. It often happens during these prayers that, if the curse was inflicted through the ingestion of food, the victim will feel immediate relief when the cursed food is expelled. The ritual and the materials used in curses, let's make one thing clear, it's the ritual itself that is of utmost importance, not so much the material used in the curse. What Father Amorth stresses is the ritualistic aspect of it. But what is a satanic ritual? What does a curse signify? A satanic ritual is essentially a declaration of intent to invoke Satan's assistance in causing harm to a person. It's a manifestation of the will to harm, where one explicitly asks Satan to bring harm into someone's life. To conclude with a clarification, charms, curses, rituals, bindings, etc., are all different forms of curses or spells, but curses nonetheless. The term spell typically refers to a type of ritual that, with the involvement of demons, aims to achieve a perceived good, such as making someone fall in love with you. Just like curses, spells also involve demonic forces, and they are so dangerous that they can even lead to demonic possession. How to defend against curses? If, after careful discernment, it is determined that the presence of a curse is likely, here's how to act. If the cursed object or material used is found, it should be sprinkled with holy water and then burned outdoors, with the ashes dispersed along waterways. It might be a cursed pillow, in which case it should be burned outdoors after being sprinkled with holy water, while praying, and the ashes thrown where there is flowing water, rivers, seas, sewers, or put in waste containers that end up in incinerators. In milder cases, simply sprinkling the object with blessed water without destroying it may suffice. The prayer of deliverance or self-deliverance has the power to dissolve many curses or significantly reduce their effects. However, in more challenging cases, a true exorcism by a priest is necessary. It's crucial to note that the person's reaction during the exorcism, the effects of the exorcism, and any subsequent changes in symptoms are significant factors. Sometimes, after the first exorcism, the person might feel worse because the evil needs to come out gradually before complete liberation. Lastly, if you had to choose between a natural ailment, even a severe one, and a malevolent curse, you'd prefer the natural ailment. In the case of a curse, even if there are clear reactions, it's essential to continue the exorcisms to ascertain the presence of a demonic influence, as the Holy Spirit has the upper hand here, and demonic presence may diminish over time. People often believe that a single visit to an exorcist will cure them of a malevolent curse. If you suspect a curse, you must continue seeking help and remain vigilant. I don't always answer phone calls, and when exorcists are needed, they should be found locally. Turn to your bishop because priests may not know who the exorcists are in their diocese. Some bishops do not appoint full-time exorcists with a mandate. Priests perform exorcisms on a case-by-case basis according to need. It might even happen that, after the first exorcism, it becomes evident that there is no malevolent influence, and I might jokingly say, you don't have anything malefic. If you have any issues, see a good veterinarian. It's better to be in good health. However, if faced with the choice between a natural ailment and a malevolent curse, you would prefer the former. In the case of a curse, even if there are clear reactions, it's essential to continue the exorcisms to ascertain the presence of a demonic influence because the Holy Spirit ultimately has control. Sometimes, the presence of evil diminishes over time and with continued prayers. People often believe that a single visit to an exorcist will cure them of a malevolent curse. If you suspect a curse, you must continue seeking help and remain vigilant.